What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on TGM Guitars. I'd like to start the video off how I always start them, thanking everyone for their support, whether that's through subscribing to the channel, leaving a comment or a like rating, or even just simply viewing the videos. It's good to see the view count go up, the subscriber count go up, however slowly that may be. And yeah, it makes me want to make more videos. I know I've been a bit lax lately with the video uploads, but there's only so much gear I can buy at a time, and also a bit busy with university and exams as well. So, I mean, it was pretty much the same story this time last year. If you look at this time last year, I kind of almost stopped uploading. But anyway, without further ado, let's jump into the topic of this video. So if you watched my unboxing video, you knew that this video was coming at some point or another, and it is a bit of a review and demo of my Zach Myers PRS. So this is a 2021 model, made in 2021, but I actually bought it earlier this year. Well, I say earlier this year, a couple of weeks ago actually. So I suppose if you want to look at it, date and serial number is 2021, but purchased in 22. So the reason I bought this was I had some money to spend on a guitar, which I don't always have. And I started looking. I was going to go for a Sire hollow body, go for something 335-esque, because that's what I really wanted. And I kind of ended up going down a bit of a rabbit hole and then came across this. I'd seen this when it originally came out. There was a lot of videos on YouTube about it. And it's one of those guitars, I mean, I'm not a massive Shinedown or Zach Myers fan. I do like their music, but I wouldn't say I'm a die-hard fan to the point where I'd rush out and buy this just because of the name that's on the headstock. But I was just blown away by the way this thing looks, with this kind of blue, sort of like an aqua blue stain. It's just absolutely stunning. So it is a semi-hollow, which was what I was looking for. The way that this works semi-hollow wise is it's a chambered semi-hollow, so a bit more like a thin line, not necessarily like your center block traditional ES335 style. So you've got a big old chamber up here, and then apart from that it's a solid body guitar. So it's your typical single cut layout. You've got two humbuckers, switch up top here, and your two tones, two volumes. Got to get used to the fact that this is laid out differently from my Les Paul. So you've got a volume for the bridge, volume for the neck, and then tone bridge, tone neck. So instead of a Les Paul where it's bridge volume, neck volume, and then tone for each, it's kind of like flips another way, which I suppose makes sense. When you think about it, it's kind of laid out the same as the pickups. This is the first guitar I've had with a wraparound bridge. So this has got PRS's one-piece wraparound intonatable bridge with these brass saddles on it, which kind of breaks it up quite nicely, makes it look a little bit more fancy than kind of your standard just complete nickel bridge. As far as frets go, this has got 22 frets, your standard 22 fret, kind of Les Paul style. Probably should have written down the scale length, but it's kind of not traditional PRS, not the same as a Les Paul, it's kind of somewhere in between. It's got these bird inlays which are synonymous with PRS. This lovely natural mahogany back that goes all the way through the neck. It's stunning, a nice satin finish. Didn't touch on the fact that this is a maple cap with this maple veneer on top. At this price point, which I paid £830 for this guitar, you are not going to get a flamed maple cap. It is more than likely going to be a veneer or photo flame, as Fender likes to call it. So true rosewood fretboard, which is rare on some guitars nowadays. I know we're kind of getting back towards that. There was a period where Palfero reigned supreme because of all the CITES issues that you had over in America. Bound neck, and then you've got this matching maple veneer in the matching colour on top, which just looks absolutely stunning. And one thing I like about the PRS SEs now is their use of the traditional PRS logo. So I know you see older ones, I see them coming up for sale quite a lot on like Facebook and things like that, have a different logo for the SEs. So first glance you go, yep, that's an SE. I notice it has got it written underneath, but it just looks a little bit more classy with that signature. You've got the old Cluson style tuners, quite similar to the ones I've got on my Les Paul over there. And yeah, I don't know what else I can say about this, apart from let's plug it in and get some sounds for you guys. The setup I'm using, so I've got my PRS going into my pedal board, which I've shown on a few other videos. That is then going straight into a Marshall DSL 100, which is then going into the 2 Notes Torpedo Capture X and recording with Cakewalk. So that's all out of the way. First of all, we're going to start off on the clean channel. I know it's treacherous saying clean on the internet because some people will be like, oh, it's a little bit overdriven or whatever, but it's clean. This is the clean channel of the Marshall, so come at me. But anyway, first of all, starting off on the bridge pickup, I'll just play some chords and maybe chuck a little bit of chorus on it. I don't know. We'll just see where this goes, shall we? So you can tell it's got that lovely sort of bitey clean, but not over the top like a Strat. It's not harsh. I mean, these pickups are quite nice in this, although I will touch on something a bit later on that I came across in rehearsals the other day. But so that's the bridge. If we go to the middle, I'll just play the same chords. It's got that nice sort of chimey in between position that you love from these types of guitars. And finally the neck. Nice and warm, kind of glassy. And let's chuck some of the old chorus on it and I'll play a riff or two and yeah, just let you hear this thing and not drop it. That'll be a bad one, wouldn't it? Got that lovely smooth kind of sound to it, especially in that middle position. I do quite like it on this, maybe a little bit more so than my Les Paul. Now the pickups in this are actually lower output than the Les Paul pickups, which I found quite surprising. You'd expect from a PRS that would be a little bit more higher output, but no, that's not the case. So what we'll do now is I'll go over onto the crunch channel and give you some nice crunchy tones. So yeah, I mean, it's humbuckers. You can't go wrong with humbuckers on that nice sort of crunchy sound. Right, let's put a bit more gain on it in the form of a tube screamer, shall we? Again, I completely butchered my own riffs in this, and I will point out now, I'll see what it sounds like, but what I found with this guitar was when you go too high gain on the neck pickup, it just goes so muddy that you cannot be heard in a mix. Came across this when I was playing, I believe it was Paradise City with my band during rehearsals the other day. I flicked into that position and went for the whole It's not too bad coming through the Marshall, but with my setup that I had at the time, it was just so muddy, it wasn't coming through the mix, and yeah, it just kind of just got lost. But I mean, that sounds... Probably because it's not ridiculously high gain at this point. I know you might be thinking, no, this is really high gain, but it's just a crunch with a tube screamer, so it's not... We'll put it on the gain channel in a minute and see what it sounds like, but... I mean, I do like it. Let's try some clon sounds. So, I mean, yeah, it sounds really good with the higher gain stuff, I've got to say, but maybe it was this pedal, but let's go. See, it kind of sticks out, but I don't know whether that's because I'm not in the context of a band, so I've not got the bass going, I've not got the drums going, I'm just sort of playing on my own right now, and it does sound quite good on that neck pickup. But yeah, it just gets a little bit muddy and lost. But what I do want to try is that dark mouse. If you haven't checked out my pedal video that I did recently with the Donna Dark Mouse, yeah, I'm absolutely in love with this pedal, to be honest. It sounds great, especially through my Vox, but let's see what it sounds like through the Marshall. I know this video is about the guitar, but if I've got these toys at my disposal, why not use them, eh? I mean, yeah, probably not as good as it sounds through the Vox, actually. Won't sound disappointed, but yeah, it works for the Vox. That sounded pretty damn good in rehearsals the other day, but through the Marshall, I don't know, it's just maybe not my cup of tea. But anyway, let's jump into some really distorted tones with the Marshall, I guess. So here we are on the ultra gain green channel, so it's not the ridiculously high gain kind of gain for the 80s hair metal, but it's definitely enough gain for what I'd ever use it for. And yeah, this guitar, if you watch the video of me unboxing this, I chucked it through this channel and it sounded pretty damn good. So once again, I know I repeat riffs from video to video, but time for cleaning up. So I mean, even with a little bit of delay on there, it does sound good, and it plays so well, this guitar. I mean, I can't just get over how well this plays. This is their wide round neck, I believe they call it, so it just fits like a glove, to be honest. And when it came out of the box, the setup was pretty good on this. Had to adjust it once the guitar had acclimatised to my room. I've still actually got the same strings that I got it with, and it still sounds pretty damn killer, if I do say so myself. So I mean, it's a quick rundown of some tones. Let's chuck some fuzz on it, since that's something I've not done yet. Except for rehearsals, of course. I mean, damn, this definitely gives the Les Paul run for its money, which is something I never thought I'd be saying. Yeah. Sorry, that tone just completely took me back there. That sounded almost one for one perfect for, yeah, what that song should sound like. But yeah, let's leave it there. I think that's probably the best place to leave it. So, I think this ended up being a bit of a longer video than I anticipated, but that guitar, trying not to play it is just incredibly hard. I know I'm probably still in that honeymoon phase with it, but you know, you just play a guitar and it just feels right. I mean, I bought it without actually testing it, which was something I didn't want to do. I've started to get a little bit conscious of that of late. Is I will just buy a guitar off the internet, it will show up and I'll play it. And I've got to that kind of stage in my guitar playing where I need to make sure what I get is right for me, because not every guitar is going to be perfect for playing. I mean, I've got enough of them to realise that there's some things I'd change about a few, but I mean, that thing just ticks all the boxes for me. As I said before, I bought it simply because of its looks and a few video reviews where they were going over how it sounded and that's purely what led me to buy that guitar. If I would have tried it in the shop, I would have realised how perfect it was for me, to be perfectly honest. And yeah, I know I did a video debating on whether signature guitars are actually worth it, and you know, buying a guitar that is a signature but not buying it because it's a signature, it's really worked out well for me. You know, when you just play a guitar, it feels right, it brings a smile to your face. I'm still trying to get over that big muff tone that I got with that thing. But yeah, I don't know what else there is to say about it. I absolutely love the thing. I don't know what you guys think. Do you think it's too flashy? Do you think that, oh, because it's a signature you wouldn't buy it due to being associated with that artist and their music? But to be perfectly honest, I don't care. That plays amazing. It sounds great to my ears. And yeah, the Les Paul might be being left behind on a few gigs, as much as I'd hate to say it. That's been my #1 guitar for God knows how many years now. I mean, I bought it in 2016, I want to say. I think it's 2016. So 6 years, that's been my #1 guitar, and it's almost been pushed aside by the new boy. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll give you some updates on that, and obviously some feedback as to what it's like in a gigging situation. I did have a few issues the other day during my rehearsals with a bit of feedback. If you get really high gain, of course, it's a hollow body, well, semi-hollow, sorry, it's going to do it. But it wasn't anything that wasn't kind of tameable. I think that's enough of me waffling on. This video's well over 20 minutes by this point, I'm sure. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think of the guitar, and as I said before, whether you'd buy one or whether you'd be put off by the fact it's got somebody else's name on it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.